Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Here in White Brimfront, in front of Lord Drellmont, where we continue our search for the heretics, who probably want to summon a primal. We have long suspected the heretics use the nectar of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways, and that the heretics in Boulder Down are planning to use them to take our forces unaware. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to happen. A contingent of House Du and their knights are on patrol in the area. I shall order them to begin searching for the heretics at once. But knowing nothing of our enemies' numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you would consent to assist my knights with the search. I know they would take courage from the presence of so storied a warrior. Pray rendezvous with him at Boulder Downs. If alone he is kind, we may catch these heretics before their plans come to fruition. Show them no mercy, Desiree. The lives of our allies are at stake. That doesn't look good. Oh yeah, right. Already dead. I believe originally found a dying knight here. Maybe I'm wrong. My knight said no word of your coming, Dizzy. What has happened? What is that in your hand? Parchment of some heretics. By the fury, those were veterans with years of service. And now they lay dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered and... No, we have not the men to spare, not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not sufficient numbers to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I wager they are on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a timetable of a guardsman's watches at our outpost on Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicion. Would that we could have caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Du and there must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. Time is of the essence, Desiree. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unawares. Superior training and equipment will avail them naught if they're cut down and their swords are drawn. But all is not yet lost. If you leave now, there may be still time to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Emeric everything we have discovered. Desiree, this is a welcome surprise, perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we've yet to uncover any hidden, You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Leveilleur been informed? The Braves must be made aware. It must be here, I'm certain of it. Why else would we go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? It is but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has us at a disadvantage. Forewarned though we may be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I did not think how many are watching us at this very moment. Confound it, this is all wrong. Iceheart are scrambling to save our own skins when we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her and stop this damnable summoning. There she is! Come here, girl! Ida? That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given a similarly warm welcome. Commander Leveilleur. There's been development, sir. Together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrance to some half-dozen tunnels after spotting the enemy breaking the surface. But that's not all, sir. We think that one of them may be important. Certainly the heretics nearly flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Aha! Just as I suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others, we're going in. A moment, Avino. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say with any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here on the surface. What if they were to converge on this point after we enter the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies would become an obstacle to escape. Change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Emeric and keep the heretics at bay here, he will go wherever the tunnel leads. If you find Iceheart at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see that you're prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many or Papa Limo will sulk. Meaning we unlock a dungeon here. The entrance to the tunnel, madam. It's just over here. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, would never have noticed it. Per Sir Emeric's orders, we will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. We unlock Snowcloak, our next dungeon. Now, I already have a recording of Snowcloak, I'm pretty certain, so I will not record the entire dungeon again, just the end of it and the cutscenes that follow. Okay, up to this point we only had wintry beasts in Snowcloak so far. Now come dragons and heretics. Mind you can stun heretics before they use the Dragon's Blood ability and avoid them turning into dragons as well. Unfortunately, as a magic DPS, I don't have a stun. The finger opens the door. To an Aetheryte. And a big boss chamber. We face Fenrir. Stalagmites. The third one explodes. Now, the second wave of stalagmites is a bit more interesting. Hide behind the third stalagmite from Lunar Cry or get eaten like Thunder Devil over there. Then 2 attack and the third explodes. Yeah, meaningless. Bit late. Okay. Go Fenrir. Now let's look for Iceheart. Oh, and finally the Sickle Fang for my Zodiac weapon.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light. Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. you would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good. For Eorzea, for Hydaelyn.
And of course we let her escape. That took longer than I expected. What news, Desiree? So Iceheart is but a pseudonym, not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared the path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the tunnels in earnest. Mayhap we'll even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? The Crystal Prize would certainly share the credit for it too. 12 be praised, Desiree. We may yet turn the situation to our advantage, assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, our fellow Science have not been idle. Minfilia and Urianji have been busy perusing the archives of House Phantoms, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you were intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report on the day's events, don't. The antecedent should be here any moment. I can but assume some people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. You anything to say, Emmerich? The network of tunnels through Snowcloak is extensive. A full survey will take time. Harry the enemy when he is entrenched, retreat from his advance, and attack his flanks when he withdraws. Aye, Iceheart is no fool. Antecedent, you come to us straight from the archives of House Phantoms. I trust your time there proved fruitful. Would that it had. Urianji and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was of questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She laid down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins according to the Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union of man and dragon. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Phantoms. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or design. You said that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to an endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Emmerich might take issue with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape, until the sappers confirm that the tunnel is safe and men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I expected, Sir Emmerich. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant, you being a man of faith, that I expect a certain Single-mindedness. After all, was it not the will of Aloni that your ancestors came to this land? Where they took up arms against the Dravanians? What would they have done in your position, I wonder? There are those who believe that faith is a renunciation of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required of all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight on the front line, less so a leader of man. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. It was a different time. Nay, a different era, and scripture tells us only so much. Would that it told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiating table, to be sure. Less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe that Iceheart's plan can succeed? Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was real. A living, breathing woman, of that there can be no doubt. In this respect she differs from every other figure to have been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being good King Mogulmok XII, a myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of a Mogul's god. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with a mighty nation, who yearn for the resurrection of a one who embodies their belief. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Minfilia. They have both in abundance. Can that truly be all that is required? My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the Aetherite Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another Aetherite, somewhere not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of the second Aetherite, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart had some means to mask its signal, I can only presume she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without the means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Sharlayan may be able to assist us. I pray that you're right. I did not think how long it would take for us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Minfilia looks into our Aetherite problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic forces that attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Curvis is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge of this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for their leader's whereabouts. Also, though it's admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom look up to you in case you were not aware. Alright. Good. I knew you would understand. Yu Hustle can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, come and find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilbert and I are meeting there to discuss the latest developments in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. There you are, Desiree. Commander Leveilleur instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the third hail from Ulda, and for a man accustomed to the feel of sand beneath its boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand. Nary a moment ago I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danithan Pass. My braves are already in pursuit and should be grateful if you would join them. I myself shall take part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. False spouts, my ankle's on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead through Dunderfin Pass. Hurry, you might catch up. If you're unsure where to go, look for tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. And Dunderfin Pass is that tunnel through there. No, I can't do that alone. The tracks lead southeast. Cyan, what are you doing here? Heretics? I'm not sure. There's a great scared beast and you hustle? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. Still. My macros are not working properly. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his troubles. Fought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest, and lo and behold, before his friend found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give a signal and wait. The merchant will be waiting. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? That can possibly mean to wander inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Okay. Then let's look. Come, you suspicious people. I have some questions. I'm through listening to your excuses. We leave now. Ow. The woods are crawling for those blue coats and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Well, stay with her then, if you think you'll fare any better. No, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland, saken with snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for blood of a fallen, and by your deeds it has drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong. None but meet in secret of heretics. Deny it all you will, we shall have a truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all. Fancy meeting you, Desiree. I presume you work with a third brought you hither? What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. Hit beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphino is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for this spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills. Skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That's a most generous offer, Lady Yugiri, and one which I gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. Comforting thought. Come this way. Let us wait inside for Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. Okay, but I think we listen to Ilbert's report next episode and end it here with Snowcloak done and yeah, a first, well not first, but a first real look at Lady Iceheart. Until next episode when we play more Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Mace and don't get lost.